Yo, what is up, guys? This is Crayfish Obsession here, and today we'll be taking a look at two northern crayfish that I caught from the storm drain. These two guys will be placed in my brand new 20-gallon setup. As you can see, there is a brick, and that is the female, and we also got a large male. So these guys are of the same species. I tried to put as many hiding places as I can. They seem to be getting along fine, I guess. They're not fighting, which is good. Obviously, when it comes to crayfish, usually putting crayfish together is not a good idea. But since these guys are of opposite gender and same species, the really only thing that happens is the male sometimes harasses the female, which is normal. And the female, I'm pretty sure she is too young to mate yet, while the male is really eager to. But so far there haven't been any real conflicts yet. So these guys are northern crayfish. As you can see, the female just is way more reclusive, but I'm pretty sure that's because she's smaller. And the male, on the other hand, is very large. He likes to burrow. He's very cool looking, and I personally like the male better. I like his coloration, but better. The female is a bit blue, which sometimes, I guess, some people think that's cool, but I think blue crayfish are a bit cliche personally, so I really like the dark, earthy colors of the male crayfish. He's just so cool to see walking around the tank. It's just really cool. Now, the best way to identify these guys are by looking at the areola. So the first thing you'll notice is that their claw shape looks more like a shovel. Well, you can't see it right now, but as you can see with the female, her claws kind of look more shovel-like. So that's usually a good indicator that this is a camberous, and that's what personally I use as an indicator in North America, obviously, because some Asticus and other European crayfish do have similar shovel-like claws. But in North America and where I live, if they have shovel-like claws, then this is usually a camberous. And these guys are really good at burrowing, and when they have claws like that are really tall and wide claws, they may look larger and stronger, but they're actually not as efficient for clawing and more efficient for burrowing. As you can see, they usually use their legs to burrow kind of downwards directly, but those claws are really good when they're burrowing straight down. And also using those claws to move substrate and whatever they're really on out of the way is very good, as opposed to like the red swamp, where it has very spindly claws, skinny claws, but those claws are hooked and they are more lethal than these guys to a fish or another crayfish. And so how I ID'd these guys is I was hoping that these guys would be devil crayfish, but devil crayfish live in burrows, and I found these guys in creeks. I was really hoping for devils. This past entire week, I've been reading about devil crayfish, and they're just so cool. I really want one. But these guys have eventually turned out to be northerns, because on devil crayfish, the areola is completely absent. Just like the red swamp, it is just a line, whereas on the guys I have right now, or the guys and gals I have right now, their areola is pretty divided. It's like an hourglass, and that's basically what I use to ID it. Also the white spots on their claws, and then other than that, they did look pretty similar. Now, northern crayfish do have a pretty wide color spectrum, so they can really look a lot different colors. Like my female is kind of blue, and maybe I might try to find a bluer male to breed her just to get a more exotic color, but I mean, that'll just be for other people, because personally I like crayfish in their natural colors that blend in. It really is just me. And for Curious, this is Curious here. He got a new updated tank, and if any of you are asking what kind of fish these are black-nosed dace, and these guys are from the stream 2. These are pretty cool. They're pretty good at schooling, but they're just really nice. And for the baby crayfish, just a quick update. He's just chilling. He's gotten a lot bigger now, but he hasn't molted yet, or he's molted and eaten his molt without me watching. But he is getting bigger, and his carapace is starting to come together. Now, curious. He's starting to get less curious. He actually just ate 2 fish, so that was very interesting. That is because black-nosed dace are jumpers, and I usually leave the lid open because I doubt my cray will escape. And if he does, I mean, I'll just pick him up and put him back in. The red swamp, and this is just for the red swamp. These guys can survive a while without water, so, and I always check on them. It's summertime, so I have a lot of time, and I realized that black-nosed dace were jumpers, and 2 of them ended up jumping, so I fed them to him, and he devoured that stuff. He's becoming a bit more inactive, but I think he might be getting ready to molt after those 2 big meals. But yeah, so this is my new 20 gal. I have around 2 schools of these black-nosed dace. They really make the tank look interesting. And the female right now has started to hide out in the sponge filter, so that's very interesting. But yeah, this is Crayfish Obsession, and we'll see you in the next one.